Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Just when we thought the stormy weather was done, it's firing up again. We could have an interesting evening ahead of us, filled with thunderstorms, hail, strong winds, and more. Let's get the latest from Hutch in your no-wait weather. Hutch?
Yes, after a very soggy Monday for many of us here in the Southern Valley and northwest Minnesota, where rainfall totals ranged from 1 to 5 inches of rain. We're looking at our Skycam out to the west with more approaching storms in the FM area. Now, these storms at this time are non-severe, but as we take a look at the radar, we can see their movement is generally off to the east. So we have cells in the southern Red River Valley now, southern James River Valley, and good old-fashioned rain showers with no real severe weather threat up to the north. So our Southern Valley counties here, basically from Highway 200 out towards Carrington and Cooperstown, all the way down into northeast South Dakota and Lakes Country, will bring our best chance of severe weather tonight. Now, the main threats are 1-inch diameter hail or a little larger, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and because of spin in the atmosphere, these storms could indeed produce a brief tornado. Here is a line of cells from I-94 to northern Richland County. They're moving off to the northeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Will be in West Fargo shortly by 5:10, Fargo by 5:20. Moorhead by 5:34. There has been from time to time some shear or spin showing up at the cell. Here's a look at that spin, the high or bright blue colors showing you that. We also had a report of a funnel cloud in Richland County with the cell down here, and there is what we call a nice little marker of spin in this storm. Northern Richland County, the greens next to the reds. Does not mean there's a tornado on the ground. It means the thunderstorm itself has some spin in it. This is moving off to the east at about 25 miles per hour. Again, it's not severe. We're monitoring all these storms closely. Some storms moving at 25 miles per hour out of Lemoore right into Lisbon and Gwinner right now as well. Now, we're keeping our eyes on all of these storms, and the risks are generally going to be better for some hail, some gusty straight line winds, more heavy rain, and an isolated or brief tornado is not out of the question. Temperatures tonight will be in the 70s, generally into the 60s. Our risk for severe weather goes down when the sun sets. Our storm chaser, Eric Whitehill, is out on the storms out east by Castleton. He's reporting numerous lowering of the cloud base. Those are called wall clouds out there. And we're monitoring these for rotation and keeping our eyes on the skies for you, Andrea. So good idea tonight is to review those safety plans.
And?
I was just getting some information. I apologize. Eric is indeed seeing a wall cloud right now. So if we put his shot right back up. Wall clouds are a lowering of the base of the thunderstorm. Not all wall clouds rotate. Not all wall clouds produce tornadoes. But that one there, you can see it's this little bubble that's pointing down toward that grove of trees. That's the lowering cloud base that he's keeping his eyes on. If wall clouds are rotating, which several of them tonight have been showing signs on radar of at least some weak rotation, then that storm could be capable of tornadoes. And that's why we said that there is a brief chance of brief tornadoes tonight.
Okay, more later.
Yes.
Thanks, Hutch. Another Catholic church in the Valley is warning of scammers after an email went out to parishioners last week pretending to be the church's priest and asking for favors. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with the church and others in the community today and has more on our story.
My first reaction is anger, but honestly now I feel sad for the guy and I want to pray for him.
Hoping to prey on the vulnerable, scammers created email addresses last week almost identical to Father Coon's.
It's just different enough that if they're not paying attention, they can be fooled.
But instead of asking for prayers, these emails asked for iTunes gift cards so Coon could deliver them to sick children in the hospital.
Because they're looking for good people. And that's the hard part, is we want our people to be trusting, but there's a beautiful line in Scripture, right? We want you to be as gentle as doves, but also clever as a serpent, right? We have to be ready for this kind of thing, see through it for what it is.
Father Coon says only one person ended up buying the gift cards, but luckily did not send them off, saying his staff caught the scam quickly.
People are always looking for easy victims, and that's a sad thing. Something's wrong in their life that they feel that this is the way they need to make a buck, and taking advantage of innocent people, particularly the elderly, just not the way to be.
And several people I talked with today say they can't believe scammers hit the little town of Perham.
and they probably feel they can prey easier on us. I don't know if because we're more naive or something, but we aren't.
Reminding neighbors here to be a little more vigilant, as fraudsters might try to hit this quiet town again another time.
There's a good lesson there for all of us to learn. Make sure you know who's on the other side.
Now, Andrea, Father Kuhn says a few other things you can do just to double check if that email you're getting is scam or not. He says just double check that grammar. And he also says try and ask yourself, is the way that the message is written, is that the way that the person who's sending you that message, is that how they really talk? Now, he also says not only will St. Henry's never, but most Catholic churches will never ask you for money via the phone or the internet. He says instead they'll only ever ask you for any donations in person at church. Reporting live in Perham, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks for the live report, Bailey. Authorities have released the name of the man who was pulled from the Red River at Johnson Park in late June. The body of 56-year-old Jeffrey Lindell was recovered from the river on June 29th when authorities received a report of a body floating in the water. The body was then sent to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office for further review. The full autopsy is not complete, but at this time, no foul play is suspected. Authorities now say Kiani Whithauer is the woman involved in the rollover accident that had traffic backed up along I-94 this morning. It happened near the Main Avenue exit by West Fargo. The Highway Patrol tells us that the call originally came in for a semi-truck that was on fire. But when crews arrived on scene, they discovered the only issue was that the brake on the truck was stuck. While crews were investigating the scene, a UPS truck had lost control and ended up on its side next to where the original call came in. Troopers were able to clear the scene in less than an hour. The largest insurance provider in the state, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota, is now facing a $125,000 fine from the state. Today, the insurance commissioner said the company did not properly process mental health and substance abuse claims. The examination of Blue Cross also found the company was not allowing independent external reviews for grandfathered plans and failed to provide telehealth services in accordance with the law. The insurance commissioner says he's confident the business will improve and better serve North Dakotans. 6 people are recovering after a van crashed into a Minnesota bus stop this morning. The crash happened just before 9:30 at a stop in Minneapolis. According to Transit Police, a spokesman with Transit Police, a van hit the mirror of a bus that had pulled over to let people off at the stop. The van driver, an adult man, then backed away and hit the mirror a second time. Authorities say the driver then made a right turn and crashed into the shelter. 6 people were near or in the shelter at the time. 3 of them have critical injuries. Police say the driver is now in custody.
So the van had hit that mirror, backed away, hit that mirror again, then made a right-hand turn. Nobody struck at any of that time. However, the van then, for whatever reason, we just simply absolutely don't know right now. We would love to have that answer. We'll get it.
There's no word yet on whether the crash was intentional or accidental. West Fargo Public Schools is looking for a new director for the Holbert Aquatic Center. According to the district, Chad Day, the current director, has resigned to take a position closer to his family in South Carolina. His last day is August 14th. The district says under his leadership, the Aquatic Center has become known as a premier site. Under Day's direction, the brand new facility had mishaps as well. A broken damper during a state championship swimming event negatively impacted the air quality, affecting both swimmers and spectators. Not all families can afford school supplies for their children when school picks up again in August. That's why the United Way has launched its annual Back to School Supply Drive, starting today through August 1st. We caught up with School Supply Drive recipient and NDSU student Chris Christel, and he says he's very thankful for the United Way and all they've done for his family.
This program allowed my family of 9, which is a lot of people, to spend money that we would have spent on the school supplies to buy food, help pay rent, and even get some extra clothes when we went for shopping for the new school year.
To learn more about the drive and where you can drop off items, visit our website, valleynewslive.com.